Hello, welcome to this presentation of Corrective Mathematics. My name's Jodie Hammond and I'm an education consultant for McGraw Hill in the UK. Corrective Mathematics is a highly focused intervention programme for years 3 to 12 which provides intensive support for students who struggle with maths. Corrective Mathematics consists of 7 modules that offer quick, targeted intervention that will help accelerate your students' mastery of fundamental skills so that they can confidently succeed in regular classwork. Each lesson will take between 25 and 45 minutes depending on the size of the group. The programme is placement tested, so students enter at the module where they need the most help. As with all direct instruction programmes, it's designed with explicit teaching practices like breaking down concepts, so the teacher can deliver lessons successfully and students can learn to mastery in the shortest amount of time. Scripted lessons, sequenced content, ample distributed practice, careful scaffolding and effective teaching techniques like signalling and immediate correction enable teaching to mastery. The direct instruction method is not only evidence-based but is validated by over 50 years of research. To run the programme, you'll need teacher and student materials. Teacher materials include a shrink-wrapped teacher's presentation book and an answer key booklet. The presentation book contains your scripted lessons and incorporates a guide to the module, as well as a pre-skill test and placement test. It also contains various photocopyable resources for practice and assessment. A series guide provides information on all modules and contains a comprehensive placement test. An optional subscription to SRA to Inform, our online student progress monitoring tool, is also available. Students' materials consist of only one workbook per module.
Corrective mathematics is for students who display some or all of the following problems. They can't recall multiplication facts, they're confused about place value, they get confused when working with 2-digit divisor problems, they add when they should be subtracting with story problems, they don't borrow when they should, they add unlike denominators when working with fraction problems, they have difficulty understanding fractions, and they over-rely on estimation. The modules that make up corrective mathematics are divided into 2 groups. Group 1 covers all operations, developing skills, strategies, automaticity, accuracy, and recall of facts. Group 2 covers all various aspects of ratios. These modules are foundations for future work with algebra. A placement test will determine the module in which the students should begin. And because modules build upon each other, they must be presented in order. You may pause over the next couple of slides to have a better look at the organisation and content of each module. Here we have Group 1. Here we have Group 2. In a traditional maths program, topics are presented in blocks. A block on measurement, a block on geometry, and so on. This approach does not provide interleaving nor cumulative review over a period of time, so learning is not transferred to long-term memory. New information is not presented in short takes with ample opportunity for practice between lessons, so students may easily feel overwhelmed. In contrast, direct instruction programs teach in tracks. A track is a topic that spans over a number of weeks, and each lesson presents multiple tracks. Corrective mathematics presents 4 tracks. In this multiplication module, you can see that place value commences in lesson 6 and continues till the very end, providing sufficient exposure for content to be mastered. Looking down the page at lesson 40, a variety of skills from all 4 tracks are woven into one lesson. This interleaving is known to improve memory and learning. Students will be working on a little bit of new information in each lesson with explicit modelling and guided practice, mastering skills till they are able to do tasks independently. When addition and subtraction are taught separately, there is a disconnect. Students never see the relationship between the numbers. Corrective mathematics does not treat facts as separate entities to be memorised, but rather as members of both a number family and a fact series. In the addition module, students work with number families that look like this. Students learn that each number family consists of 3 numbers, 2 small and 1 big. Both the addition and subtraction modules present the same number families, and students learn that when the big number is missing, they add, and when a small number is missing, they subtract. They learn that each number family has 2 addition facts and 2 subtraction facts, and they see the correlation between addition and subtraction. In the multiplication module, the number family is presented like a division problem. This symbol distinguishes multiplication from addition and subtraction facts. The division module again uses the same number families, and students learn that when a big number is missing, we multiply, and when a small number is missing, we divide. Students learn 2 multiplication facts and 2 division facts, making the fact learning doubly efficient. In the division module, the problem transitions to a more conventional form. Unique to corrective mathematics, a precise strategy is taught for determining which operation is required by a given story. Verbs are not always reliable in determining the operation, as in the example on your screen. Both Bill and John lose toys. The word lose implies subtraction, but the problem is one for addition. So we employ the big number strategy. Mr. Yamada started with 36 books and ended with 58. Students know that when the big number is given, they use subtraction. Now they can work the problem. The big number strategy is also used to discriminate between using multiplication or division in word problems. Strategies for discriminating between the use of addition and multiplication are also taught. Basic fractions presents visual demonstrations teaching that the bottom number tells how many parts in each whole and the top number tells how many parts are used. Students are shown how to apply rules in exercises adding, subtracting, multiplying and dividing with extensive practice. Here, students are presented with strategies for comparing parts to a whole. Students create statements that compare fractions. Teacher-directed activities begin each lesson with only 10 to 15% new content, and each lesson contains 5 to 12 exercises with multiple tracks, mastery tests that appear within lessons, independent work, and at the end of the lesson there is a work check. Fun fact games are also included to ensure students master the facts. Points are earned and are totaled. Review lessons also appear periodically. There are also optional facts practice worksheets that can be used at any time and cumulative reviews that reinforce previously taught content. Direct instruction programs are designed so that students learn at their ability level. Placing students correctly from the onset provides them with every opportunity to experience success. When students are successful, their self-esteem increases and their attitude toward learning improves. The placement test assists teachers in organising homogeneous groups and knowing which materials to purchase. Corrective mathematics has 2 methods for placing students. The preferred method is to use the comprehensive placement test, which is delivered in parts. The second method is to administer the pre-skill and placement test that accompany each module. The tests determine which module and which lesson the student starts at and may be administered individually or to the group. And these, together with instructions on how to administer, score and place, are found at our website, in your teacher presentation book and in the series guide. Because students may progress at various speeds, corrective mathematics provides 3 options for acceleration. One option is to cover more than one lesson in a period. The second is to follow a skip cycle where certain lessons are skipped, and the third is to overlap modules. For example, once a student has completed lesson 45 of subtraction, they may start multiplication and proceed with both together. Note that should a student do very well in part F of the comprehensive test, it may be advisable to have that student progress to Essentials for Algebra rather than complete the last module on ratios and equations. Please ask your consultant about this program. Direct instruction provides rules that are crucial to managing a good classroom. Organised seating allows for active monitoring. Having low performers closer to the teacher enables the teacher to make sure they are paying attention and responding. Assigning permanent seats is a good idea. Teachers are encouraged to move around the classroom when students are working independently to keep an eye on students' work and manage behaviour. The guide to your presentation book will provide in-depth information on classroom setup and management. The program provides a planned presentation. Each lesson contains a complete script to follow with all the necessary content delivered in a consistently clear language of instruction. Scripts have been thoroughly tested to ensure that they communicate effectively and are easily understood by students. For you, scripted lessons eliminate time-consuming lesson planning, which means that all your energy can be focused on teaching efficiently. For students, scripted lessons provide engagement, consistency, and predictability, leading to a faster rate of learning. Teachers teach content and skills first and only then test students. This eliminates anxious guessing and students know what's expected of them. In this way, their self-esteem improves. Following the script and teaching conventions is vital to the success of the program. We recommend practicing reading the script out loud until it feels more natural, and by all means, put your actor's hat on and bring the script to life with your energy and personality. On your screen, you will see an example of the script. What the teacher says is in blue type. What the teacher does is in parentheses, like signalling, repeating a step, or presenting a board display. Student responses are in italics. And lastly, a tick appears as a reminder to observe what the students are doing and give feedback. Have they all opened their workbook to the right page? Have they all put their pen down when asked? Pacing is important to maintain academic focus. Research revealed when pace was slowed, student accuracy dropped and they were off task about 70% of the time. So pacing and the rate of responses is important to learning and retention of information. A brisk pace also helps keep talk to a minimum and limit off-task behaviour. It also enables more teaching and rate of responses in a given period. In general, to become more fluent, familiarise yourself with the script. Your pace should be at a normal speaking rate. However, pacing should not be as fast as you can go, but as fast as the students can go. Never hurry students into making errors, and never rush to finish the lesson at the expense of firming on each activity. Firming is always more important. The goal is to teach every student. Therefore, you must receive clear feedback from every student. Signalling after a question provides a cue for your students to respond in unison, eliminating leaders and followers and also eliminating droning. Signals provide much diagnostic information. For example, a weak response suggests that your students may need more help and it would be wise to repeat an exercise. An incorrect response leads the teacher straight into a correction procedure. There's no waiting till test day any longer to find out what your students do not know. You'll have this diagnostic technique available to you every day while you teach and be in the strongest position to stop your students from falling through the cracks. Signals also maximise time on task. To initiate unison responses, general rules apply. Talk first, allow for think time, and then signal for a response. There are two types of signals, audible and inaudible. The type of signal you will use will be dependent on where your students' attention is focused. If students are looking at you, a hand drop signal may be appropriate. If students are focused on a workbook task, you will use an audible signal, like a clap, a click, or tap your foot. If students are looking at the whiteboard, you may use the point touch signal. Point to the relevant item, touch it by tapping with your finger or a marker to elicit a response. All signals need to be strong, clear, and consistent. Make sure that all students respond in unison. If not everyone responds, treat this as an error and repeat until firm. Students soon realise the expectation is to be taken seriously. Responses must be correct, otherwise we correct immediately. A couple of great benefits of group responses are that they're able to dramatically cut down time in assessing students individually, and the focus is taken off the lower performing students. Everybody makes mistakes. Mistakes provide invaluable information so teachers know about the difficulties students are having. Knowing how to correct effectively is essential to successful teaching. In direct instruction programs, as soon as the teacher hears an incorrect response, they must stop and correct immediately to the group, even mid-sentence. so corrections are very specific to what is being taught and they are delivered in a positive manner. Group responses must be correct, or as we say, firm, and the teacher must always bring the group to mastery before moving on. Practice correction procedures for automaticity. Your teacher presentation book or series guide will provide detailed information on how to correct in specific instances, like a student not looking where they should be, not responding before or too long after the signal, or responding incorrectly. The general correction procedure is for the teacher to stop upon hearing an incorrect response. In a positive manner, the teacher simply models the correct response, then tests the group again. Should additional instruction be required, the teacher will employ the we do strategy. This time the teacher leads the students as they say the correction together before they are tested again. Additional repetition is sometimes necessary to bring the group to mastery. Following this, the remaining tasks in the exercise are completed and a delayed test is employed to ensure the correction has held firm. The delayed test simply takes students back to the beginning of the exercise. The group must show that they can complete the exercise from beginning to end without making errors. For an additional delayed test, you may complete the next exercise in the lesson and then come back to check on this correction again. This allows the mind to focus on something else and then be presented with the difficult task again to see if the correction will be remembered. Individual turns usually appear at the end of exercises and give teachers the opportunity to check that all students are following along, especially the lower performers. This is an important step not to skip. There are several rules to follow. Present individual turns only after the group is firm on an exercise. The teacher repeats the question again to the group, then calls randomly on an individual to respond. This way everyone is still at attention thinking about the answer, even though only one student is called upon to respond. Give most of your individual turns to lower performing students. Lastly, when a student makes a mistake on an individual turn, correct the group, not the individual. Assessments provide valuable feedback on student progress and inform instruction. Informally, students are being assessed daily within every lesson, during structured lesson time, guided workbook and independent activities. A point system is employed for motivation. There are periodic review lessons for assessing recently taught material, cumulative reviews that assess previously taught material, and fact sheets for additional practice. The formal assessment from which data is collected is the mastery test. These tests appear as exercises within lessons. They provide you with valuable information on how well each student is performing on the most recent things that have been taught. Students complete these tests in their workbook and points are awarded. If more than 20% of the class do not meet criteria, specific lessons and exercises are recommended for remediation. A record chart is found in the teacher presentation book. As an alternative to print data recording, McGraw Hill offers SRA to Inform as an optional digital subscription. SRA to Inform is a robust progress monitoring tool that allows teachers to record data, monitor progress, generate group and individual reports that showcase class and student growth, or provide remediation where needed. On your screen, you will see the types of reports generated for both the group and the individual. Here you can see data entry for the mastery test results in the multiplication module. This slide shows overall student performance on mastery tests. The target is 100% and teachers can see at a glance how the group is scoring and who is meeting the criteria. In addition, SRA to Inform allows the teacher to drill down to the individual level to examine results and also compare against the group average. This data allows teachers to help those students who may be struggling by providing remedies to assist in their learning. Here we can see, after the completion of a mastery test, the remedies that are recommended for both the group and individuals if passing criteria is not met. This automated feedback relieves the teacher of precious time spent in analysing data. Quick word on homework. The Facts Practice Blackline Masters are reproducible and may be completed for homework as extra revision. Staff training is important for smooth implementation, avoiding pitfalls, and achieving the program goals. To teach well right from the start, in-depth training is available through independent trainers listed on our website, mheducation.com.au. For a general overview of the program, please contact your consultant. In addition, a careful read of the guide at the front of your presentation book or the series guide is highly recommended. Useful resources that are important for smooth implementation of the program and achieving the program goals are a fidelity checklist to ensure teachers are implementing the program correctly, a letter to parents to inform them of the program their child is undertaking, the student-teacher game that assists managing classroom behaviour, mapping to the Australian curriculum, and the McGraw Hill order form with our most recent pricing. At our website, you will also find various resources like the placement tests, sample lessons, scope and sequence, frequently asked questions, and research documents, like a meta-analysis on teaching mathematics to students with learning disabilities. Please ask your McGraw Hill consultant about resources. Principals looking to invest in an evidence-based program backed by over 50 years of independent academic research ought to feel rest assured that direct instruction programs will deliver. With the science of learning in full support of explicit teaching practices, Corrective Mathematics, like all DI programs, can boast that it checks all the boxes for explicit teaching and has the added benefit of carefully selected content that has been masterfully woven into an instructional design that is second to none. A recent 2020 meta-analysis by Professor Jean Stockard titled All Students Can Succeed, based on over 500 research reports, the largest meta-analysis of any single method, details clearly that direct instruction's effectiveness is consistent over time and the effects are substantially stronger than those reported for other curricula. If you wish to learn more about the direct instruction method underpinning all our programs in literacy and numeracy, please visit our McGraw Hill website or go to the website for the National Institute for Direct Instruction, or ask your consultant about the documents you see on the screen.
Thank you for your attention throughout this presentation. On behalf of McGraw Hill UK, we wish you a very successful implementation of corrective mathematics and look forward to hearing from you.